This video is going to dismiss, annihilate, demolish, and destroy every thought, perception, and belief that because someone else struggled their way throughout life, that someone else has to struggle too. That because someone else had to figure things out all along by themselves throughout university or through their master's degree or throughout high school, that someone else has to struggle and figure things out by themselves too. This video is hopefully going to remove that perception and foster a spirit of helping each other climb the ladder to success and help a university student, specifically those in the medical and dental school, to start getting the A stars that they deserve, as I give you guys study tips and tricks that absolutely no one tells you. Let's get right into the video. Well, hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and a very warm and special welcome to all our new subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Let's have a little welcome dance just for you. As you've seen already by the title of this video, I'm going to be giving you guys some university study tips and tricks that absolutely no one tells you, so that instead of leaving the exam room like this, you leave the exam room like this. I did say that this video is going to help the university students, but I also feel like the high school students can definitely benefit from this. And if you apply these study tips and tricks early, right now when you're still in high school, university will definitely be a breeze for you. I also encourage you to watch this video right to the end, because these study tips and tricks need to be used in combination. Don't leave out any of it, so that you can start getting the A stars you deserve, or change that C grade to a B plus, or that A to an A star, or that 2-1 to a 1. So let's get right into the video. The first study tip and trick is to have a study plan or a study timetable. This is literally the first step in getting the grades that you deserve. Honestly, sometimes, especially in medical and dental school, in fact, any course in university is a lot. Sometimes the textbooks that you have to read are like this. So if you do not have a study plan and a timetable, you will easily be overwhelmed. So the first step in having a timetable is to schedule your courses on the timetable. So for me, I would have a timetable from Monday to Sunday where I would write down my courses and also include the times. You know, everything works different for everyone. Find what works for you. Are you a morning person or are you a night owl? If you're more effective in the morning, you can schedule your reading maybe around 4 to 5 a.m. or 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. depending on how early your lectures are. So you schedule times that you're most effective in. If you're a night owl, you can play during the day, or you can go to lectures, you can attend clinics, you can do other things, and then at night you know that you're focused on your reading. So schedule your timetable and always write the time slots that you are most effective in. So part of having a study schedule and a timetable, I'm going to break this number 1 point into several different parts, because there's a whole lot of things that come with creating a study schedule and a timetable that is effective. The key word there is effective. So once you've put in your study times, whether you're effective in the morning or you're more effective in the evening times. After that, schedule your courses according to the days. Now, we all know that Monday is not the most favorite day of the week, so do not schedule the heavy topics or the heavy subjects on Monday because you will be overwhelmed. Always put subjects that you enjoy doing on a Monday. For me, in final year dentistry, I loved reading Resto or pediatric dentistry on a Monday because for me those were some of the courses that I really loved and enjoyed doing, and not only enjoyed but they're a bit lighter, they're a bit easier to read. They're not easy of themselves, but I mean in terms of reading, you know that there's some that are heavier than others. So always put the lighter things on a Monday so you're not overwhelmed, or on days like a Sunday, if you know that you are at church for most of the day, don't put subjects that you know that you won't be able to read. Or a Wednesday, Wednesday is midweek and so many things are happening, or you're now drained because it's in the middle of the week. Put lighter subjects there on Mondays and Wednesdays, or any other days that you feel like these are heavy days for you. Put subjects that you enjoy studying. The third thing or aspect that comes with creating a study plan or a study timetable is schedule subjects that go hand in hand together. I'll give an example for my dental students. Oral pathology and oral surgery go hand in hand. So you can pair those subjects together so that it's not repetition, or so that you cover one topic or one aspect at once. For example, in oral pathology, you have things like cysts and tumors of the jawbone, of the head and neck. Some are soft tissue, some are hard tissue tumors. So read that so that you know the pathology of it, and then you read the surgical part of it. Because honestly, if you go into surgical clinic just knowing the pathology and not knowing how to manage it, you've literally done yourself a disservice. So it also helps to just read subjects that go together, and this applies also to those who are in medicine or any course you're in. Remember, I said this video is general. I think it will also cover your course. Put subjects that go hand in hand together so that those topics that seem repetitive or that have similar aspects to them can be covered at one go. So the fourth aspect that comes with creating a study plan or a study timetable is to schedule topics or courses that are coming up on the next day. By this I mean, if you have pediatrics on a Tuesday, then put peds on your study timetable on a Monday. This helps you such that when you get into that lecture or that clinic, you at least have a bit of data and a bit of knowledge, on what you're coming to do. You don't come there and you're completely blank. So what I would do is I would study a day before a subject that is going to come on the next day. What is coming on Monday, I studied it on Sunday, so that it consolidates the information that you know, and you can also read along with the lectures so that you're not too far behind. The fifth thing that comes with creating a study plan and timetable, and yes guys, I'm giving you everything that I have and that I've got so that you guys can get the tips and tricks and the A stars that you deserve. You don't need to struggle the way we did to figure these things out. Anyway, so number 5 is do not bite off more than you can chew. Goodness, do not do it. Don't create a study timetable that has too many courses on it, saying on a Monday I want to read this, I want to read this, I want to read that. Don't be too over ambitious. Yes, it's fun and nice when you're creating a timetable and you're scheduling things because you want to make progress, but honestly, if you're going to lectures and you're attending clinics, the day is packed on its own, so you only have the evening to study, and sometimes it's not realistic to put a lot of courses. So what worked for me is putting at least 2. There's something that works for everyone. If you're a fast reader, you can put 3 or 4 if you want. But what I've learned is don't bite off more than you can chew. At least study either one thing. If it's a big topic or if it's a big course, you can just put that course alone on the study timetable on that day. Or you can pair courses together so that you read 2 a day. But please do not bite off more than you can chew. So the sixth and final thing that comes with creating your study plan and your study timetable is to study courses together towards exams that you will be examined on together. By this I mean there's certain course combinations that will be examined together. So if you manage to read ahead of time, you adjust to reading those in those combinations together. When you're now studying for the final exam, it will be so much easier for you. So you can do this towards exams. You don't really have to do it now when you're just studying and exams are far away. You can do it towards exams by creating a timetable and pairing those subjects and combinations that you will be examined on the same day on or in combinations with together. Now moving on to the second study tip and trick: study hard but also study smart. Now I've seen so many videos who say that you should learn to study smart more than you study hard. But honestly, what works is these two things in combination: studying hard, but also studying smart. What's studying smart? Attend lectures, and those things that are emphasized, study them, because they will definitely come on the exams and you will definitely see them on that exam paper. So studying smart is knowing what to study, studying what is being emphasized by lecturers in the lectures. So don't skip lectures, guys. I know sometimes you want to skip lectures so you can, cover up on those things that you haven't really studied well, but attend lectures, because lecturers will emphasize those things that come in exams, and that's studying smart. Because sometimes you can spend the whole night studying things that will not even come or show up. So being smart and studying smart is studying those things that are emphasized. Studying smart also includes having flashcards. That's what worked for me as well. Have flashcards that summarize things. Towards exams, you will be under pressure, and there is so much content that you cannot reread all your notes or go back to the textbook. So if you have a flashcard that summarizes your information, that is studying smart. Now, let's get to studying hard. When you study smart, then study hard. To be honest, there's no shortcuts to this thing. I tried it. I've looked for shortcuts and loopholes to getting this degree, but honestly, there is no other way. Let me just tell you the truth and be the one person that tells you that you need to study hard. You need to die to books. There's no other way. Please don't die literally in case someone takes it so literal, but you know what I mean. When you sit down on that desk for the next 2 hours, you are literally just deep in books. You're not focusing on any other thing. You are just dying to books. So study hard, but also study smart. Now, the third study tip and trick to get the A stars that you deserve is take breaks and reward yourself. You know what? There is just this thing where people think that sitting on a desk all night or pulling those all-nighters where you drink those, what are they called? They're these drinks that people would drink to keep them up all night. I don't know what they're called. Comment down below. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. To push you all night so you can study. To be honest, those things do not work. Okay, yes, they have worked for some people, but my advice is sometimes you're only effective for 2 hours. Tell me if I'm wrong. You're only effective for a maximum of 2 hours. In fact, concentration span is 30 minutes to 45 minutes. So what I would advise is study for at least 30 to 45 minutes and then take a break. Don't keep reading for an hour or 2 hours, because honestly, sometimes that information is not even getting in. Even if it is, you will experience burnout, especially if you're preparing for your final exams. Take breaks and reward yourself. If you read for 30 to 45 minutes, go out, stretch, get a bottle of juice, drink some water. If you're living in the school residence, go and visit a friend, but don't stay there too long, because that's also very tricky, because you can end up taking 2 hour breaks. So take at least 5 to 10 minute breaks so that you're not too distracted. During your reading, read 30 to 45 minutes and then take a good break. Also reward yourself. If you've been studying the whole week from Monday to Friday, reward yourself on Saturday and go for a treat, with your friends or even with yourself. Just take yourself out for ice cream, just relax, go for a walk, go to the park, decongest, because the information that you need to know for your exams is a lot, and you can literally go cycle if you just keep reading books all day, every day. Have friends, Go out, decongest, have fun, reward yourself for the hard work, and make sure you're working hard. Don't just reward yourself for things you didn't do, because I know a lot of people who like more reward than work. So a lot of play, and then, sorry, a lot of work first, and then some play to treat and reward yourself. Yeah, take breaks. All-nighters sound fun and good until you start sleeping in class or sleeping in the exam room. I've heard of stories whereby someone was so knocked out because they didn't sleep all night that they ended up sleeping in the exam. And sometimes it can look a little like this.
You good? I was just screwing on my shit.
So please do take breaks. I can't emphasize this enough. You need to take a break because the information that you need to know is a lot. And I know of so many people that have committed suicide or that have gone psycho or crazy because they were just in that phase of, I need to read this, I need to accomplish this, I need to do this. Take breaks. The pressure is there, yes, but medical school and dental school is not the end of the world. There's so much more to this life than school and books. Even though at the time, yes, it does seem like this, everything does revolve around, school and exams and going to the next year and going to the next year and finally getting to final year and passing. But take breaks because you need the break. Number 4, question what you have studied. 99.99% of the times, if you cannot answer a question to what you have just been studied, you do not understand what you studied. So please always question what you've studied. This has happened on so many occasions where you feel like you've studied and you've studied and read this topic back to back, but there's a certain way that certain lecturers or certain universities ask their questions, and sometimes but you don't know. Sometimes but you can't answer the question. So there's also that skill of learning how to answer those trick questions and learning how to answer questions the way that lecturer or those universities want you to answer their questions. So always question what you've studied. Question yourself on the internet. We're so blessed with so many resources. Google your topic and what you've read for questions, either MCQs or essays. Practice essays, because you cannot get into the exam and start writing an essay on the day of the exam. These questions need to be practiced because essay questions are very tricky. Sometimes you think but the content that only fits a paragraph and you need to write a 2 or 3 page essay on that topic. So question yourself on what you've studied. Also create your own questions. That's what I would do, and that's what would work for me. I would study and then I would write down questions as I studied and then close my notebook and try and answer those questions without looking in my notebook to check if I have understood. So always question yourself, question what you've read. And also universities always have archives, what we used to call makadava. There's always those questions that float around, that from past years or from previous examinations that people have wrote long back. Look at those questions and see how they ask, because there's no way you can pass an exam without knowing the structure and the format of how they ask their questions. So always when you've studied, question what you've studied. Never study and close the book and think you're done for the day. Question what you have studied. The 5th tip is to watch videos. Now, I advise you to watch a video right before you even start studying that subject. A video helps you to break down the topic, because if you just start reading that topic, number 1, it will take you much longer to read it, and number 2, you will not understand as much as you understand if you start by watching a video. So a video helps you ease into the reading, ease into the topic, and the reading becomes so much more smoother, faster, and easier when you've watched a video. So for Zim Med School and Dental School, I know that there are a bunch of videos that were created and compiled that help you. For 3rd year, there's Pathoma. Pathoma is very helpful. Now, I discovered that so late. That's why I'm telling you, guys these things early, if you watch those videos and then you study, my goodness, you will be a sharpshooter. The studying becomes so much easier and so much faster because there's so much to read. So the video breaks things down. And for fourth year, there are also some pharmacology videos that were compiled. I've forgotten the name of them, but if you watch those and then study, you will be good to go. So watch videos, let YouTube be your best friend, and watch videos always before studying so it can help you consolidate and to understand topics so much better and so much easier. Now, the sixth study tip and trick is to have a discussion group, but only if necessary. Now, please listen very carefully and listen very clearly. Discussion groups are not what makes you pass, and this is something that I learned a little late myself. Sometimes you go to a discussion group and you think that's, you get comfort in going to discuss, and sometimes you haven't read enough. You're so behind and you're studying or discussing with people that are way ahead of you. So it ends up discouraging you, or you end up falling even more behind because that time you could have used it to study by yourself. So discussion groups are very helpful, but always discuss when you're ready and if it is helping you. Don't be apologetic to try and please people to attend a discussion group just to make up numbers. Because to be honest, sometimes you're only doing that and it's not benefiting you. You're only going there to make up the numbers. Or kuperekedza vamwe vanhu who've literally already finished the whole syllabus and know everything already. There are people who are fast readers. So know yourself and know what works for you. If you have read enough, or if you are helped by people explaining to you first before you study, then discussion groups are for you. Go and discuss with people. But if you also feel like you need extra time to study before discussing with people, go ahead and study. Don't feel obliged to join the discussion group just because you have to, or just because people said today there's a discussion at 6 p.m. and you're feeling bad because you said you'd attend. Do what works for you, because at the end of the day, you're the one who will be sitting in that exam room alone. And also, I advise you to have a discussion group that is balanced. Don't have people that are too ahead of you only, or people that are too below you that you're always explaining to. Have a balance where the people above you and people who've read ahead of you and people that are below you that you can also explain concepts to. And discussion groups help. Go and lead topics. You remember when you share with someone, you really remember. When you tell someone what you've read or you explain a certain topic, it sticks definitely. So don't forsake discussion groups, but also make sure that you attend them at your convenience and make sure you use them as it helps you. Discussion groups do not make you pass. They do enable and they do, add that extra. But just be careful and understand what works for you, because you can waste your time attending discussion groups and it doesn't work for you. So it's okay if attending discussion groups and people, explaining to you doesn't work for you. Don't attend. Sometimes you can study alone and then just go and ask people the next day. I was reading this and I didn't really understand on this, or I was reading, because discussion groups sometimes take 2 hours or more. If it's the discussion groups I know, usually discuss for an hour plus, and sometimes that hour plus could have really helped you cover ground. But also don't forsake discussion groups. So this is two-way. Don't forsake it, but also don't get your time wasted. Yes. Number 7, as you study, please also include in your study schedule shadowing. Shadow, shadow, shadow. For clinical subjects like dentistry especially, you need to shadow. What is shadowing? Shadowing is when you go to an established dentist, someone you look up to, or just a general dentist, where you learn and you watch them do procedures. Now, the university only gives you a certain amount of, exposure to certain procedures. And they do tell you, our lecturers would tell us that, guys, what we teach you here is only 30% or is only 40%. So you need to do that extra by yourself to go and look for that and shadow other people. And I know it can be very intimidating at times. I've been there as well, where I'm just thinking, what am I doing here? Like, what am I doing? It can feel so intimidating because when you're a student, dental practices are big and you're just thinking, I'm only a student, and you feel very inferior. But get out of yourself, get out of your head, just be humble so you can learn and so you can pass and so you can get this degree, and find people you can shadow. There's so many specialist dentists in Zimbabwe who I have shadowed personally as well. There's certain topics and certain courses that are more difficult than others that you need to go and shadow to get that extra. And they're very welcoming and very nice. So all you need to do is find a dentist, talk to them nicely, and ask for permission to come to their practice on your free days during the week or on the weekends, to go and shadow and learn from them, because nothing beats learning from the greats. And if you want that extra, this will definitely set you apart in your clinical exams, because you will have that extra that other people don't know of. Yeah, so please do shadow. Do not be shy. Do not think too much. Get out of your comfort zone, because in life, to be able to get to where you want to be and to have that extra ahead of your peers, you need to set yourself apart by shadowing. Go and shadow and learn from the greats in the field. Number 8, remove all distractions. Now, when you're studying, there will always be distractions. If you're in residence and you stay at the university, distractions can come in the form of friends coming to your room. Friends can be good, but they can also be distractions. So set boundaries and, set your standards that at this time I'm studying, guys. I'm not available. Even if they come and say, no, we need to go to this gig, you need to come to this. There's a time and a season for everything. That's one thing I learned through my university. Now I can go and do anything I want at any time because I'm done. So there's a time and a season for everything. Just do what you're there to do, and the right friends and the right relationships will understand. If someone gets offended by the fact that you turned them down, or you turned out a hangout because you want to study, better yourself, bag a degree, and get the A star you deserve, then those friends needed to flake away anyway. They were not meant for you. Real friends are helpers and not distractors. So set your boundaries, and those that are meant to be in your life will always be in your life anyway, regardless. So remove distractions. Sometimes distractions are in the form of your phone. Social media can be so nice and so enticing sometimes, especially in those times where you are really busy and you have a goal that you need to achieve. So many distractions can come, but please, this is just an encouragement to someone in university or in high school. There is a time and a season for everything. So just give of yourself and give it your all. Why settle for less? Why settle for 50% or 40% when you can get 70 and 80%? Just give of yourself, especially when you've made it into that degree. Some people are craving and longing to be in the degree and the course you're in. So don't waste it. Set your boundaries and don't mind what people will think. The right people will always be there, and hangouts will always be there. The shops will never move. Those outings will never move or disappear. When you're done, they will always be there. So set boundaries and remove distractions. That's a study tip that you definitely need. Number 9, repeat, repeat, repeat. And I say again, repeat. Repetition is the mastery to medicine. You can never read something today and think you've grasped it. You need to repeat it over and over and over again until it sediments and it sinks in. What I would do as well in final year was I would create an hour in the morning before I went to lectures where I would go over things that I read last night. So I would go over it the first hour in the morning, and at night, or when I came back from lectures around 5 p.m., I would go over that material again just for an hour, even 30 minutes, just browsing through. It's not really sitting down and studying, it's just going over that material. Because the more you go over it, the more you see it, the more it sinks in and it consolidates everything that you've studied. So please repeat, repeat, repeat. Go over that material, because repetition is the mastery to medicine. Number 10, have a vision board or an art wall. There's nothing that beats waking up to your dream and your vision and your goals. Have an art wall if you're that type of a person, where you just stick maybe pictures of doctors, or you stick, things that inspire you, whatever motivates you or whatever inspires you, to achieve this goal. Stick it on your wall. It will motivate you as you study, as you watch and see your wall that you are almost there. You're 10 steps, ahead of where you were before. Post things on your wall and in your bedroom, so that when you wake up, you have a constant reminder of your dreams and that you can achieve them. I would post scripture, I would stick scripture to the wall that I can do it even when I really thought I couldn't, or when it seems impossible. Write on your wall, not on the wall directly, but on a paper. You can stick papers or you can print it out, that nothing is impossible with God. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Have things, or like have pictures that motivate you of people that have achieved great things in life, and stick them on your wall. There is nothing like waking up and seeing that, or studying looking at that. So yeah, that's just a study tip that not really everyone tells you, but that worked for me. Waking up to watching that or seeing that really used to motivate me a lot. So have an art wall if you can, or if you're into that really motivates you as you study. Yeah. The 11th study tip and trick is, do not compare yourself. Now, in medical and dental school, they have a board where they post everyone's marks. So everyone, no matter their course, everyone who passes through that department can see your name and can see the mark that you got. Now, this used to be a very intimidating thing. It used to be something that would tug a lot on people's confidence. But this is just to say, one study tip and trick is to not compare yourself, because if you do, you won't be able to study as well, because you'll be so demoralized and so demotivated that, why am I the bottom of the class? Why did I get this percentage and this person got this? Have tunnel vision. Focus on you. Your only competition should be the mark that you got last, and should only be you. If you got 35%, in your first anatomy mark, aim to get 40%, aim to get 50%, and the next time aim to get 60%, because I know those examinations are so tough and so hard. To be honest, they are very difficult, but do not be discouraged. Do not compare yourself. Don't be discouraged by that notice board. Don't compare yourself to anyone. Your only competition should be your consistency. Be consistent and never give up. And don't be intimidated for first years. Don't be intimidated by people who come and say, oh, I had 35 points, at A level, I used to do 10 subjects. Bruh, there are always people like that, but do not be intimidated. Don't compare yourself. Don't compete. Have tunnel vision. You came to this university alone, and you did not come with those other people. So do not compete, and don't be discouraged by the notice board. Consistency is also the mastery to medicine, and never give up. Keep going, keep being consistent, keep studying, keep reading, even when you seem like you can't get the results, or it seems like the change is not happening. The change comes with consistency. So be consistent. Don't compare yourself. Your only competition should be your consistency. The final study tip and trick that is very important, last but definitely not least, please always pray. You can read all night and all that you've read does not come. So do not discount the power of prayer. Sometimes God can literally lead you and guide you to exactly what will come in the exam. I've had so many encounters of that, and yet the sharpshooters and those who've been reading all night, they fail. Sometimes you fail in medical and dental school, not because you're not brilliant, not because you're not sharp, but sometimes it's literally being led by God. The steps of a righteous man are ordered. Let God order your steps. And what goes hand in hand with prayer is be positive and speak life. Sometimes there's just this negativity and negative air, especially when you fail a paper or when you fail an exam and you just think, oh my goodness, I have failed. I can't do this thing. Pick yourself up. Speak life. When other people say there's a casting down, say there is a lifting up. I'm going to pass the next paper. I may have failed this one, but I'm passing the next paper. I'm doing better. I'm improving. Affirm yourself. Honestly, if you got 40% in a paper before and now you have 49, you have improved. Give yourself a pat on the back and say, I have improved. Affirm yourself, because no one else will do it for you. In medical school, you have to crank yourself up. You have to motivate yourself, because everyone is stressed, and it's unfair to want to be motivated by friends or people around you, because they're also going through their own and they're also going through their own. So motivate yourself, encourage yourself, pick yourself up, speak life, and pray. Pray, 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 always pray, because God leads you and guides you always on what to study and what to leave out. And never discount, that feeling of feeling tired and sleepy before an exam. Sometimes that's God literally telling you that you've read enough. Because you can read all night and continue on, but sometimes you have just read enough. So pray, so that sometimes that peace of God that comes over your heart, you then know that now it's enough reading. I've read enough and I know enough to tackle this exam. So guys, those are all my study tips and tricks that I learned along my journey of university, that I hopefully hope and pray that will help someone, whether you are in university or whether you're in high school or whatever course you're doing. I hope that these tips and tricks definitely help you. Please do use them in combination, and please comment down below what worked for you. Help your little brothers and your little sisters to go through this journey of university with ease, so that they don't struggle. If you don't comment down below, then I know that you're part of the I struggled, so you should struggle too crew. Yes, I'm watching you. So please do comment down below what worked for you. You never know who you're gonna help. Honestly, people need these tips and tricks, and help someone so they don't have to go through the struggle that you went through, that we went through. There's absolutely no need. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that all the students, it definitely helped you. And please, if these tips and tricks do help you, please let me know. Do apply them. This is definitely something I'm speaking from experience from, because I did pass with honors, yes, in my final year exams, something I never thought would ever happen in medical school, because yeah, the journey is just something else. But this is just to show you, sorry, this is just to show someone that it can be done. It can be achieved, but only if you use these study tips and tricks. So I wish you guys well. I know it's back to school for most people. I wish you guys well in your professional exams, those that are writing professional exams this year at the end of the year, those high school students that are writing in October, from October going on. Whatever course you're in or level you're in, I wish you all the best. I hope that these study tips and tricks definitely help you as they have helped me, and go and nail those exams and start getting the A stars, the 2 1s, and the ones that you deserve. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe and join the Me Fam, the Motivate, Educate, Encourage, and Inspire. Here we're all about that. We help each other, we encourage each other, we inspire each other just to be better and to climb the ladders to success. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you so much, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Please do like, comment, subscribe, and share. Bye guys, see you in the next video.
I put my trust in you, 'cause you give me comfort. You know the man that you should like.